Hey, you guys, welcome to another video on Affiliate Phoenix. I need to hire someone to come up with like this booming, super enthusiastic intro. Anyways, I'm having my coffee and I recently made a post, yesterday, in fact, where I shared my realizations that I've had in the last year and a half as I've grown my blogs, right? So I don't want to just grow a blog that is going to make me a few hundred or a few $1,000s for a few months and then get hit by the next Google update and the traffic just dies, right? Like, frankly, at that age, we're like, I value long-term efforts, right? Like, I want to build a blog or a few blogs that can generate an income for me that can be in my portfolio that hopefully I can flip in a couple of years, and whatever I do with them, right? The intent is for them to grow and for them to thrive in the long term. So, if you want to have blogs or niche sites and you can resonate with what I'm saying and you want them to generate a full-time income for you, let's say $5,000 beyond, right? 10K, 15K, that kind of thing, you're going to want to stick right here and watch to the end. So, mm, coffee. I should stop drinking it so much. Anyways, so the one of the biggest changes I had to make from like within the last 2 years was I needed to respect content more than I did at the time. So my thinking was Google is just an algorithm and doesn't understand content. And that thinking needed to go out the window, right? I needed to understand that what Google actually wants for the long term for its own search engines. And if I give them that through my blog, right, it's a win-win. But me continually thinking that Google, sorry, my cat just jumped up, that Google is just a dumb search engine and I can, exploit it, whatever. It just wasn't the way to go. And also, having subpar content doesn't really convert that well. So even if you were able to exploit Google temporarily, when people land on your site, you're not gonna, I mean, conversions can be super crappy, right? And you want to put out in the world what you want to receive, karma, right? So what if people like your sister, your mom, your wife, your husband, whatever, what if they're the ones who stumble upon your site and they start clicking around, right? Like you want to be proud of your creation. So I needed to let go of the thinking, back to the main point. I needed to let go of the thinking that Google's just a dumb algorithm or whatever. And honestly, it is really hard to get away with that thinking anyway. So I'm glad I did that. It was like the biggest hurdle. I think I had to like really redefine what content meant to me and give Google what it wants. Now, the second one, that's a big one too. The second realization was that SEO was one part of building a blog or a niche site, not the whole thing. So I have been doing SEO, search engine optimization, for so long that when I switched to becoming a full-time blogger and niche site owner, I wanted to look at everything through an SEO lens, and I still kind of do that at times, and I have to remind myself to like pull back a bit. Yes, SEO is a really amazing way to get search traffic. It's something I specialize in, right? But it is not the whole thing. So when you want to grow a blog, right, you've got to look at the broader scope of things. There's so much to growing a blog, right? So growing a blog and monetizing it, it's a full-on business. So you can look at other ways of growing traffic. It could be through social media, right? It could be through your own, you could create social media accounts. You could use TikTok to grow your blog. You could use YouTube. You could use Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you want, right? So there's that aspect of it. It's not just search engine traffic that you can send. Also, though, SEO is one component of this. You have to look at monetization methods as well, right? There's business aspects of things that you've got to kind of like pull yourself out of SEO and look at other things. And it's easy for me to get lost in the SEO aspect of it. So I had to, I of course it's my bread and butter, but I have to look at other things as a blogger and site owner and see how I'm gonna grow. So that macro scope is what I'm talking about. So third thing is I had to learn and embrace content marketing. That is an ongoing process. That is something that's actually very fruitful for your own blogs and niche sites as well. And I'm playing around with that. So now this one, I had to pull myself out of the algorithm, out of Google's algorithm, and focus on the blogs overall. So it touches on the point I was making previously, that hyper focusing on just the SEO part isn't a good idea, right? So like checking your Google, your rankings in Google every day when you're building your blog, when it's in the growth stage, because there's a lot of up and down and up and down and up and down. And that is normal for the most part, because you're publishing content consistently. And, Google has its own complicated algorithm, right? So it's going to take a bit of time for it to decide where you fit in, or where your blog fits in the overall scope of things. But hyper focusing on it every day, not a good idea. This one is a hard one for most people. And if you hear my cat singing, that's Blaze over there, who wants to be outside all the time now. So after this video, I'll take him out. We all probably, I don't know if everyone, but we all need to kind of embrace the fact that building a profitable blog could take 2 to 3 years, even if you do everything right. And that is okay. A college or university degree can take way longer than that. So what's 2 to 3 years to build a wildly successful digital asset that you can even flip like a real estate property later on, right? But I guess we all want instant gratification, including myself. Oh, this is a big one. The money, looking back, the money was in the actual publishing of unique and good content. Nothing more, nothing less. So here's what I mean by it. If you start checking your, Google Analytics or Google Search Console before your blog has grown to a certain point, you are wasting your time and you're going on roller coaster rides. When you can, I mean, maybe check it once a week, right? But if you don't focus on really good keyword research and then creating content around it, that is the actual thing, the actual action that is actually going to bring in the money later on. So don't waste your time on things that kind of pull at you and distract you, right? Or make you think, oh my God, this isn't working. Focus on publishing unique and good content. If you don't do that, and you, let's say, publish like 10 articles a whole year, that's really slow, right? And you're not going to get anywhere with that. So the money is actually in the publishing of content. And now this one, for your own mental health, you need to seek out people who are on a similar goal as you are. The temporary ups and downs, if you're not careful, can cause a lot of stress and you need to embrace it like the Karate Kid and focus like, oh, hell, and connect with other people while trying to accomplish your goals. So this one is a little bit hard for me because I'm actually pretty introverted, right? So you're trying to grow blogs to the point where they're actually generating a healthy income. Growing one in itself is can be challenging if you've never done it, right? But growing a whole portfolio of them, it has been stressful, and I did not do such a great job in managing that, which is now I am now I'm taking steps to actually connect with other people, and I'm also making time for meditation and stuff like that. All this stuff can sometimes sound like frou-frou, like I don't need all that. Sir, these cats, I swear to God, once they get bored, they're in every nook and cranny. Hey, no. Eh, sorry. If you're not careful, they even that sounds frou-frou, they can take a toll on your health, right? So try to connect with other people. You're welcome to join the Affiliate Phoenix Facebook group. I'm active in there. It's a small community, but it's growing. That's my focus. So come on in, ask questions, say hi, whatever you want to do. All right. But make the journey easier on yourself. Hey, 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 be nice. Good grief. I may as well have children. Okay. So next point. You are your own competitor, not other sites. Now, I know this sounds a bit frou-frou, but hear me out. Google is giving new blogs and new site chances to rank all the time. But if you can focus on your competitors and what they've already built ahead of you, it's a lose-lose game. It can feel super overwhelming when you see somebody who has like built this huge blog with 500 articles or 1,000 or hey, who knows, 20,000, right? And you're just starting with your first 10 articles or whatever. Not only that, but like sometimes people start copying their competitors. And the thing with copying is that if you are copying a competitor who is doing really well, which is what most people want to do, you start literally mimicking, or like you start let's start with this example. You will try to do keyword research through them, right? So you could analyze what keywords they rank number one for and try to outrank them. Why don't you focus on what your blog is about, right? Put every other competitor out of your mind, spend some time doing keyword research and see what type of long tail keywords you can find and do really well at, right? Because instead of trying to outrank someone who's already ranking for something and has a huge blog, like that again, you're trying to outrank someone. That's already like you're already losing. You need to find your own keywords that you can win at, right? So you are your own competitor. Don't start looking at other sites. I mean, that can be beneficial here and there, but I encourage you to do your own keyword research. Oh, and also I have a free resource if you want to read that about zero search volume keywords. They've brought me a lot of traffic. I can drop a link for you. And I also have the complete AP keyword research blueprint. It's the complete keyword research strategy that I've used on my own blogs. And right now it's only for $19, and you can bypass the zero search one because that's just one component of my keyword research, right? So if you want the full blueprint, it's super affordable. You can bypass the zero search and just go to it. But I think the zero search free resource does have a lot of things that are going to make you think a little differently. So get both. Get both. Okay, so I'm going to go through the rest of these quickly. The next point, the more AI tech is being released and used, the more opportunities will come for genuine human connections. So I could use AI to create this video. I could have it mimic my freaking voice and put generic, like, I don't know, shit on here straight up, right? Like it could be generic visuals and stuff. And it wouldn't be me sitting here and talking to you guys. But I do think in this world of modern tech and now AI advancing leaps and bounds, society is losing genuine human connections. Things will shift greatly where we'll see where AI is needed and how it's needed, and frankly where it can just kind of fuck off. Because some things are just better when connecting with other people. Okay, so if you've gone through this video and you are vibing with me, that's the kind of people I want in my circle, in my business, right? Like all of it. I don't know what else to say. Human connections, don't lose track of that, right? So if you can hire writers who are actually doing a good job creating content for you, do that, right? It's all about that human connection you can make through your content. Another point, some of the biggest blogs I've seen and bloggers I've talked to behind the scenes, they focus on basics super well. So as they build their blog, it becomes a sexy digital asset in time. And they do not compromise on their processes. They don't. They're interested in building something of value. So now this is a little bit different, but if you're asking questions on Facebook regarding growing blogs in Facebook groups, right? Like if you're asking questions in Facebook groups about growing blogs and stuff, you'll get answers that are all over the place. Okay. And some of them don't even know what they're talking about. And this could cause offense to some people, right? But I learned a long time ago that you've got to know who to ask questions from and take their advice. You cannot take advice from just anyone, right? They don't know what your blog is about, they don't know the details. And a lot of people just like to talk, frankly. They just like to talk. And no, just no. Don't get detracted or distracted from your main goal. Just know who to ask and take advice from. This one, if everyone is zigging, you've got to learn to zag. All right. Otherwise, you're doing the same thing as thousands or hundreds of thousands of other bloggers are. Okay. You're just one of many. Doing things a bit differently and uniquely can be a huge win for your blog. And the dogs agree. My neighbor's dogs agree. I don't know if that made it to the mic, but they're barking right now. Okay. And this goes to the second last point, and then I'm going to end with this. There's a lot of bullshit out there. Avoid it and don't get distracted. And that goes in, that feeds actually into my goal of Affiliate Phoenix, where I want to cut through that BS and simplify growing blogs and niche sites and creating affordable resources so that bloggers can follow that simple effective route and see results, hopefully faster than anything else that they're trying out there. With that said, if you liked this heart to heart, this coffee is a little cold now, give me a like, hit subscribe, and I will have more tips, more videos coming up. Bye. Have a great day.